Steer, Mike, steer your life right. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm actually proud of myself. This is episode 3, week 3. Hey, consistency is not something that I did on my channel. But ladies and gentlemen, I am here with somebody that I've watched before I started truck driving. It's honestly, you ever had an artist? For me, it's like Drake. You always wanted to meet Drake. Man, I got the equivalent of Drake right now. I'm Anthony TV. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I got a 30-minute show. As you probably already know, we got to run through this. I got a lot of questions and little amount of time. I am going on a little date. But anyway, so let's switch scenes. Let's get into the conversation with I'm Anthony TV. Welcome. How are you doing today?
Doing fantastic, man. I appreciate you for having me on, man. I've been really excited about this opportunity to speak with you. You know, we conversed a few times on our
Mm-hmm.
YouTube platforms in the
Mm-hmm.
comments and things of that nature. So to really see it come to fruition, man, it's exciting.
It's awesome, man. I'm sitting here too. I feel like I'm a child in a dang gun a candy store. I'm talking to all these great truck drivers that are just starting, and for you, my very first question is because I want a lot of people. They say there's no money in food service. They're like it's too difficult. It's too hard. I want to know what made you even go into the sector in truck driving.
Yeah, man. So I'm gonna take it back a little bit and kind of talk about how I started as a route delivery driver, and then I'll tie it all in with food service. So back in 2003, I was 21 years old. I know people look at me and be like, how old are you right now? Like I'm 40 right now, right? And so in '03, I was 21, started out with a company that I'm sure all your listeners have heard of and know it's a household name, and that's Krispy Kreme Donuts, right? So
Mm.
I was delivery driver for Krispy Kreme. I worked for the company for 15 years. I was always in the transportation department. And so what we did at Krispy Kreme was very similar to what we do in food service,
Mm.
right? We was delivering products to grocery stores and convenience stores, going up and down the ramp, just like we do in food service. And
Wow.
so it was something I was very familiar with, and I was a route driver for 10 years, and then 5 of those years I spent in management. So I got promoted to a route supervisor, and then eventually to a route sales manager. And at that point, I actually had my own shop, running my own shop, had route drivers under me, also had an assistant under me and a bookkeeper. And it was amazing, man. It was a great opportunity, great experience. So that whole situation and experience from just starting out as a route driver for so many years as a delivery driver, it was a smooth transition for me to get into food service. So that's kind of how I got into it.
Wow. That have you ever shared that story on your own channel?
Like once or twice, man, but I don't really talk about it too much. Like once or twice, yeah, I talked about it.
Man. Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
do you get free donuts now or?
No, no, no,
Oh.
no, no,
Oh.
no. So what happened with the whole Krispy Kreme situation, and
Uh.
just to talk about that just a little bit. So I left the company in 2018 due to them. They ended up changing a direction in the company, right?
Okay.
So they decided to downsize and eliminate the sales manager position, which is what I was. I was a sales manager.
Okay.
So the company decided to go in a different direction.
Mhm.
And so we had 42 sales managers in the company total.
Mhm.
And they gave us two options. They said, number one, you can apply for any other position in the company,
Okay.
or number two, you can take a severance and then, we can part ways that way.
Dang.
And for me, I decided to take a severance and then just, go a whole different career path in
Mm.
terms of me getting into trucking. I had time at that point. I had a friend of mine that was doing OTR work, and he
Mm.
actually was a manager too at Krispy Kreme. We both grew up together, childhood friends, and we both was managing our own shops. He was in Atlanta, I
Mm.
was in Florida, and
Oh.
so he ended up, going into food service after OTR. But while he was in OTR, we was talking all the time. He was like, "Man, bro, you should go get your CDLs." But you
Mm.
didn't need the CDLs to work for Krispy Kreme. You just needed a good driving record. They had box trucks similar to like UPS and FedEx.
Okay.
So you just needed a good driving record for that. But I always wanted to get my CDL license. I just couldn't fit it in my schedule because the trucking school here that offered it, it's like an all day program. It's like from
Uh,
6 a.m. to 6 p.m.
okay.
And so it's no way I could have made that work with my work schedule. So I'm like, man, when I end up leaving the company, I had time. I took about 2 months off,
Oh,
and
wow.
then I started my trucking school and got into that. And we'll get into that in a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and I was actually going to play off of that. So you went to trucking school instead of signing with a company, which, from what I learned, personal experience, that's probably the best way. It's a huge investment, but that you'll make the money back. Don't worry about it. So with that, I guess if you want to pick up right there, you went to trucking school. What made you go straight to, like, did you go straight food service? That's it, or did you take some steps before then?
Yeah, so once I got my CDL license, I went through trucking school. And by the way, just like you said, I did go the trucking school route and paid out of pocket, right? I didn't want to go through a sponsor and have this mega carrier pay for me and have to pay money back if I didn't like it and things of that nature. So, and then for me personally, OTR was really never part of my plans. Like it really wasn't an option for me to go over the road. I
Mm-hmm.
always wanted to stay local. That was the plan going into it. And
Mm-hmm.
so I'm like, you know what? I would pay out of pocket. I'll make the investment, invest in myself. I know I'll make the money back a million times over. That's really no problem. So that's what I
Mm-hmm.
did. Paid out of pocket, did the 3 weeks, got my license, and I actually applied for two food service companies,
Mm.
Cisco and Cheney Brothers,
Oh.
but it all turned out like the way it was supposed to turn out,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I actually didn't get a food service job initially out of trucking school. I went to work for a beer company.
Mm.
So I was delivering beer. I
Mm-hmm.
did that prior to coming to food service, working for Gordon Food Service. So I delivered beer for 4 months and it was absolutely horrible. It was terrible. It was one of the toughest jobs I ever had in my life.
Oh
And
man.
they didn't pay any money. It was bad all the way around. But
Oh.
I will say it was great to get that little experience I got because
Mm-hmm.
I stayed with them 4 months to get experience. A lot of these companies, as you know, they want you to have some type of experience
Yep.
um, before they take a chance on you. And me, just being a fresh, newbie coming out of trucking school with no experience, it was hard to, get somebody to take a chance on you. So
Mm-hmm.
it was good. It was good in that way, just due to the fact that I could get in, get some
Mm-hmm.
experience, and then get out. So once I got in and I seen how the job was, how hard it was, I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, look, man, I'm gonna try to be here 6 months and I'm getting out of here. And then luckily,
You did four.
I did four, man. I was applying for jobs while I still had that job, right? Just waiting on somebody to call me. Please call me.
Please help.
Please. Hey, the dude who trained me on the route, he was
Yeah.
quitting, right? He didn't even finish.
Oh.
He didn't even finish like his last day. Like he gave him a 2 week notice, but he left in a week, bro. Like that's how bad it was. Yeah. And so they kind of just stuck me out there when he quit. So I pretty much was on my own. So
Oh
I'm like, man,
no.
he actually had called me like I think the last day he was supposed to come in, he called me and he was like, bro, I ain't even coming in and I'm just letting you know, man. I'm like, bro, it's all good. I got it.
I said
So
this is the
it was
hardest I
crazy,
laughed.
man. But now it's like I understand it. I understand why he did
Yeah.
what he did, bro.
Yeah.
Like it was horrible, man. It was horrible.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
That's probably the hardest I laughed in a long time. I'm actually crying because he didn't come in.
He didn't even
He's
come
like,
in to finish his 2 weeks,
oh,
man.
oh, that's crazy. You only got. Oh, that's okay. So, hey, let me regroup. Oh, you threw me off. So, a lot of people talk about how there's no money in food service at all. I don't know why. You already seen. I went to Cisco McLean. There is so much money. Why do you think there's this misconception of no money within food service?
Man, I mean that's a good question, man. I don't know if it's just because, it's a local job
Mm-hmm.
that people feels like,
Mm-hmm.
is not money in food service. But if people just do their own due diligence, do their research and watch other food service channels other than mine,
Mm-hmm.
you can see that, okay, this must be for real because I'm seeing this channel, this person showing other food service drivers paychecks and exposing them. And you see the money, you know what I mean? Like this isn't fake, it isn't made up. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like when you hear so many people saying the same thing and it's consistent,
Yeah.
at some point you gotta believe something. You know what I mean? You gotta it's gotta be some truth there somewhere.
Yeah.
And so when people don't believe it, man, I don't know. I just feel like it's just people that really don't necessarily do their research to really find out. That's my only conclusion.
Mm. Is your so with your what is your ultimate goal when it comes to like a lot of people they want to be owner operators, they want to lease on. Obviously, you said your mind is more local. Do you have an idea of maybe even starting your own food service fleet or something like that with your sales management background?
Yeah, man. Personally, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily want to be in trucking to be an owner operator
Mm-hmm.
or have like a long term quote unquote career in
Mm.
trucking. You know what I mean? Like I'm using trucking right now, and you know the money I make in trucking to really, you know, invest in other things that I really want to do, like get into real estate
Mm.
and you know investing in crypto and stocks and things of that nature. You know, that's really my passion and really what I want to do. I'm really just using this to really, you know, fund what I really want to do, and that's really my investing. So, you
Okay.
know, long term, man, I want to be able to have financial independence, financial freedom,
Mm-hmm.
and I know using my income from my job is going to be a major factor into me, you know, getting to the place that I want to get to financially. So that's
Wow.
really my goal, not necessarily to be in trucking for all my life. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's good money right now. It's great money actually, and you know I love the company I work for, Gordon Food Service. For those that don't know,
Mm-hmm.
I work for Gordon Food Service, and I have a very flexible schedule.
Mm.
It's real chill, real laid back. You know, I only work 4 days a week, so you know
Huh?
it's sweet, man. Yeah, it's
No,
sweet.
wait.
So
Hold on. I might wait a second. Do I want to go back? Hold on, wait a second. Now you got me thinking. Hold on, but I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
yeah, man. But you know, when you have that kind of flexibility in your schedule and your
Mm-hmm.
workload is not like brutal, like I'm still able to work out after work. You know, I work out 2 to 3 times a week, even though you just as you know, our food service is a workout within itself,
Oh
right?
yes.
It's a very physically demanding job, but you know, I'm still able to work out on my off days. I'm not exhausted and extremely tired or anything like that. And it's
Mm-hmm.
really due to my schedule.
Mm.
And the work life balance is fantastic. And so
Mm.
a lot of people, when they look at food service, they only, some of them only think about the money. And that's
Mm-hmm.
just not with food service, but that's with any job. And they
Right.
don't really consider the work life balance. Like a
Mm.
lot of people, they don't mind working 60, 70 hours a week or whatever. Me, that's not me. Like I
Mm-hmm.
need to have a quality of life. So it's got to be a balance there for me. You know what I mean? And the Gordon Food Service provides that. And so I'm not the type of person that, oh, this company pays, you know, $100,000 a year.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna jump over here. Or this
Yeah.
company over here pays, you know, 120 a year. You might want to jump over here. A lot of people like job hop just for the money. And it's like, that's not me, man. It's got to be
Yeah.
so much more to it than just the money
Yeah.
for me to go to a company. I look at things like, you know, how good is the equipment? You
Mm.
know what I mean? Like, what about the management? How is that? You know what I mean? Like,
Mm.
just talk to people, communicate with people, kind of see what the company is all about, do your research, and
Mm.
find out other things outside of the company. You know, the benefits. Like Gordon Food Service, we have profit sharing. I don't know if it's another food service company has profit sharing. Like that's major. And so those type of things is kind of what I look for and what I really think
Hold.
about when I go to looking at a company, man.
What the heck was I doing, man? I went to
Yeah.
Cisco and it was horrible. I went to McLean and then I'm not even gonna talk about that. That'll no. That's a no no. And then I don't know why I didn't go Gordon Food Service. I don't know if it's because I saw them at my school and I hated my school's food. I don't I have no idea. But to be honest, like hands down period, you are 100% correct when it comes down to when I was with McLean, my work life balance was fantastic. I worked 4 days and I did go work out after, because you do have to have a certain body for it. But I know so
Mm,
many 55-year-old, 54-year-olds, and I watched your video recently. They are, man, they just know how to work. They're putting in the
right.
work. And I feel like when I did quit like Cisco, unfortunately, like I'm being honest, I quit because I got COVID and my body was destroyed. I couldn't go to
Hmm.
work. And then
Hmm.
McLean, again, I would have stayed there, but
Hmm.
if I tell anybody, they're like, no, that's not a
Yeah.
good thing. So my next question is like you say, you don't want to stay into truck driving for the rest of your life, which is awesome. You know,
Mhm.
not a lot of people have that exit plan. They know how to enter, but they don't know how to exit and at what
Right.
time. You mentioned crypto. What got you interested into the crypto scene? Because one of your biggest videos on your YouTube channel is crypto. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. 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 So, one of my cousins, man, really
Mm-hmm.
introduced me to crypto just a few years ago, back
Mm-hmm.
when Dogecoin really came off and started kind of popping.
Mm-hmm.
He hit me up and he was like, "Cuz, are you in crypto? Are you doing this?" And like I was actually doing stocks. I was in the stock market, but I wasn't in the crypto.
Okay.
And he brought it to my attention, and I started doing some research on it. And I started watching a lot of YouTube videos, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, man, this crypto is crazy. Like
Mm-hmm.
these people making some crazy money in a very short period of time. I need to
Mm-hmm.
tap in and see what this about.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I started tapping into it and just learning, educating myself on crypto. And man, I got into it
Mm-hmm.
and started making money like crazy. You know what I mean? And the thing about crypto compared to stocks, and
Mm-hmm.
I invest in both, right? I like both of them. You
Okay.
got some people that invest in stocks only and they don't care to invest in crypto. Like they
Mm.
feel like crypto is just gambling, right?
Yeah.
That's a lot of traditional stock investors. That's how
Mm-hmm.
they feel about the crypto market. But
Oh.
me, I believe in diversification. So now you can't just diversify your portfolio in stocks only, right? But I like diversifying in terms of getting into other assets as well. And so that's why I do crypto.
Okay.
And again, one reason I like crypto a lot more than stocks is really because of the volatility. And a lot of people may say that's a bad thing, but
Mm.
the fact that it's so volatile and it's nothing to see a 50%, 100%, 1,000% swing in a very short period of time, minutes or an hour or a few days in the
Wow.
crypto market compared to the stock market, you're not going to see swings like that.
No.
The stock market just don't move like that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's why I like crypto, man. Just really because of the volatility, which a lot of people may feel like, oh, that's a bad thing. But if you know
Mm-hmm.
what you're doing, you could make a lot of money in a very short period of time. So
It's facts. I mean, I had invested into AMC last
yeah,
year when it was down.
yeah,
And it was like
it did.
$14 a share. 12.
Mhm.
$12. I wish I put $1,000 on there.
It did a crazy run along with GameStop.
At GameStop,
Both of them.
both of I now I for some reason I know when to pick a good stock because it'll like anybody out there, go ahead, invest in Sundial Flowers, I believe it's called, on
Mhm.
Robinhood. Go ahead and just do that. It's like 50 cents. Let's
Mhm.
raise it, babe. But no, but you are correct. Diversifying your assets are pretty, they're good. A lot of these older investors, financial advisors, a lot of these people, they say like go into what's it called, mutual funds, or pretty much things that are like
Index funds and
index funds. Yeah, so you
yeah,
get a
yeah,
little safety net.
right.
And so I mean, sometimes you take the gamble. I know a guy who makes like $2,000 a day, just on
Mhm.
stocks, and he does day trading. So
Day trade, yeah.
yeah. So
Hmm.
that is, hey, if somebody's interested, please. And first and foremost, you should be going over to I'm Anthony TV's YouTube channel. It'll be down in the description. Go subscribe to this man. I mean, so the next question is, and we're gonna bring it back a little bit to your work life, is that you would pull up on, and you call them pull ups, to
Right.
like other food service drivers. What made you start this idea to do that?
Yeah, man. So when I was looking at the food service delivery driver
Mm-hmm.
space in terms of other YouTubers that was doing food service content, it's
Mm-hmm.
only a handful of us out there that's
Yeah.
doing it and that's doing it consistently, right?
Yes.
And so when I looked at these other channels, I didn't see anybody doing any. thing like that before. So I wanted to kind of be different and set myself apart from the norm. And
Gotcha.
so I was sitting around, I'm like, man, I see these food service guys in my area like all the time.
Mm,
And I'm like, man, you know what? Let me like pull up and kind of talk to them a little bit and
mm-hmm.
film it. You know what I mean? So other people can see what other drivers that's working for different companies are doing out there as well, not just what I'm doing at Gordon Food Service, but I want you to see what other people are doing and what they're saying too. You know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
that's why I started doing it. And
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed it. And a lot of people that was watching those videos, they was commenting, they was liking the content too, and they thought it was just different.
Mm.
And so I really enjoyed, pulling up, talking to different guys out there just to hear what they have to say. If you ever watch those videos, you probably noticed, like, I never ask them questions that they can say something that could be bad on the company, right? I just
Correct.
asked them like really basic stuff because
Mm-hmm.
I knew I was recording. So I'm like, I'm not going to ask them something they can say, well, oh, this sucks or that sucks. You know what I mean? Like, I just kept it basic. And I did that intentionally because I didn't want them to say something crazy. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, but yeah, that's why I got into it. I just didn't see anybody else doing it
Mm.
in the food service game.
When it comes to the physicalness of the job, would you say that it's easy or moderate or pretty stressful? What would you say?
That depends on the person. Are we talking about somebody that works out occasionally, or are we talking about somebody that's just jumping into it?
300, 300 pounds, 6 foot tall.
Yeah,
Let's just, for example, they're 300 pounds, 6 foot tall. They're thinking that this is going to be a good regiment workout for them to do. So
yeah,
would you recommend it
yeah.
or?
I mean, listen, man. I'll be honest. I've seen people all shapes and sizes
Mm-hmm.
and different genders doing food service. So,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the mind is a powerful thing, man, and the body does what the mind tell it to do. You know
Mm.
what I mean? And I believe that if somebody really want to do food service, I really don't care like your size or anything like that. At the
Mm-hmm.
end of the day, I really feel like it's kind of what you. Yeah, I just feel like if you continue to plant those negative thoughts in your
Mm-hmm.
mind that you can't do it, it's too hard, it's backbreaking work, all the things that we hear about food service,
Yeah.
I hear it a lot in the comments and things of that nature. But if you continue to tell yourself that, then of course you're gonna be mentally defeated. But if you can change that and speak positive things into it and really say, yeah, I can do this, I can do it. Because
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, the longer you're in food service, the more you do it, the better you're going to get, the faster you're going to get just because of
Mm-hmm.
repetition, right? You're going to figure out different ways to, turn the boxes, to stack your dolly, just
Mm-hmm.
ways that make you more efficient. But
Mm-hmm.
it comes with time. You're not going to do this overnight. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's what people have to realize when they get into food service.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so at the end of the day, yeah, I think, that person could do this job.
Wow. Yeah. I did see when I was at Cisco, this guy, he started, he was a bigger guy. No, excuse me, at McLean. And for the 3 months I saw him, he would slim down, slim down, slim down, get stronger and stronger. And a lot of other guys was like, oh, he's not gonna last. He's not gonna I don't know if he's still there. But he put in the time and the perseverance. And then I also had a guy that was already doing this type of work with Pepsi, and then all of a sudden he quit the very first day with me. I was just like,
Wow.
yeah, he quit the very first day. He said, this is too much. I'm not doing this. And I was like, oh, dang, this kind of
That's
sucked.
crazy.
But yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So when you look at like people that get into food service for the money, right? Do you kind of what do you kind of motivate them by saying? Have you excuse me, let me go ahead and retract that. Have you trained anybody that just was very frustrated but still held on?
Uh, yeah. I have. And because of the reason you just mentioned, the money, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, yeah, the money. And the money can be a major motivator for a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
especially depending on your financial situation, what you got going on, your goals and things of that nature. A lot of time, you'll stick some things out
Mm-hmm.
because of your situation. So it really just depends on the individual.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of how hard the work is, a lot of times, in the end, it may be worth it to stick it out, even though you're going through this difficult, process or doing this difficult job. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. To play off of that, the money. Now I'm just gonna
Mhm.
let it. I won't let Anthony say it. I'll say it. But you can make over 100K, determining on
Absolutely.
which place you go to.
Mhm.
You're gonna work your butt off, but um, your body will get used to it. So, with that being said, what is your biggest expense with being in food service that you have made that you either really enjoyed or really regret getting?
My biggest expense. Uh, I don't think I made it yet, man. I haven't
Really?
made it yet. Yeah, no, I haven't made it yet. I'm gonna
Okay.
tell you. I'm gonna tell you what it's gonna be though.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's a Corvette, a C8.
Oh,
So
damn.
that's yeah, that's gonna be my biggest expense. So I haven't made it yet. I just kind
Okay.
of been stacking. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you're gonna
Yeah, yeah,
pay a significant deposit down or paying in cash full?
yeah. Nah, I'm be paying some money down. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Tiki
And
mentioned.
trading in my current automobile. So I got a Mercedes C250 right now. So I'm gonna
Dang.
be getting rid of that whenever I get the C8. Yeah,
Dang
yep.
gun, man. You gonna be flexing. You're in Florida, right?
Yeah, I'm in Florida.
Oh my God. That everybody's gonna be like, oh, but I guess you already have a missus, right? Or so, a
Yeah,
little,
yeah.
yeah,
Y'all
yeah,
married.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can't be doing it. I
Nah.
mean, if you want me to borrow it, I'm up in Indiana. I could borrow it, just flex a little.
Right,
No,
right.
but that's pretty cool. So, are you able to, from like you said in a prior question? I guess it's gonna be the last one. Unfortunately, I only have a 30-minute show. I wish I had longer. Um, being with the your wife, has she? Were you able to perfectly balance being in food service, being tired, and all that stuff? Have you found that balance right by now?
Yeah, so early on when I got into food service, not necessarily when I got my CDLs, because the first job I got, like I mentioned earlier, was with the beer company and I was home every night.
Oh,
But
okay.
now when I got into food service and I'm gone 2 nights a week,
Mm.
although that's not a long time, but to
Mm-hmm.
her, it's I want you home every night type of thing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And so that's one reason I don't work on Wednesdays right now. That's an option for me. I only work 4 days, but I can work a fifth day, and that's working on Wednesday. But I just choose not to because I know how my wife already feels. And so
Mm-hmm.
I try to, kind of compromise a little bit and not work that day and just stay off and spend as much time as I can here. You know what I mean? It's not
Okay.
like I said, it's only 2 days. It's not like over the road to where I'm out weeks at a time. But when you have a woman and you have a wife, it's like to them,
Mm.
that's a long time. And they,
It
they
is.
rather want you home. And not only that, but we're about to be empty nesters. I have one stepdaughter that's here. She'll be graduating in May, and then she'll be going off to college. So, that's just gonna leave my wife home. So,
Okay.
I'm like, I need to be here. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So,
Yeah.
yeah,
So I'm very familiar because I've been watching your videos. But for anybody, we're gonna go a little bit into overtime. That's okay because I'm very interested, and I know other people are too. With Gordon's Food Service, I know you just got your new trailer. You're trying to figure out the name for it. Everybody, head on over to that video. Let's get some ideas. It's a nice trailer. I know it. Some people don't understand when you got a trailer like that, the low bars like that. I'm like, woo. So you're gone. Where do you go? Like overnight stay at? Like, do you go to a different state, different portion? What's that like?
yeah. I go to a different state, so I'm in Mississippi.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
okay.
in
Wow.
Mississippi.
Okay.
hmm
And is that like so? If anybody were to go with Gordon Food Service, is that a sector or is that everybody does have to go over the road or kind of like semi-local, like I'm doing?
Yeah, so well, it just depends on what your position is. So
Mm-hmm.
my position, so we have three different driver positions at Gordon Food Service. Number one, you got your local, home every night delivery driver.
Okay.
Then you have your shuttle driver, which is transit driver, same thing. And then
Mm-hmm.
you have your regional salesperson, which is what I am.
Mm.
And we also call it chain accounts. So if you're running a chain account with Gordon Food Service, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be staying overnight, right? We call it a 2 day route as well. So you're gonna have a layover if you're running a chain account with Gordon Food Service.
Okay.
Now, in some cases, very few cases, some chain accounts are able to get home every night, but in most cases, you will have a layover, and it's twice a week.
Oh shoot. I, oh my God. I think you just I see the sales manager in you because you're just like sinking these thoughts into me. Why didn't I do that?
Yeah,
Man.
man, it's nice. And when you run chain, you run fewer stops. Like I only got 7 stops total. I work 4 stops one day and 3 stops the next day. Like I said, man, I can't beat it. I work anywhere from 40 to 43 hours a week, so it's nice, bro.
Oh my God. What did I do with my life? No. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Steered My Steer Life Right. I need you to head on over and then type this in. I'm Anthony TV. Right? I got that right, didn't I?
That's right, man. That's right.
Perfect,
Yeah.
perfect. Go over there, hit that. It's a red button. It says subscribe. Okay, I added a little bit of my Puerto Rican lingo, Hispanic little culture. Subscribe. Okay, thank you, appreciate it, and enjoy the content. You're gonna learn so much when it comes to food service. It is a difficult job, but it gets easier over time, and you will be able to put bread on the table like none other. It puts you actually in the, you're like in the top 10% of men in the U.S. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. He's like,
Yeah.
yeah, he just got, yeah. But thank you so much, Anthony. I really do appreciate you coming on. He didn't even just come on the show, he came on earlier than expected.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Seriously. Do you have any like shout outs that you want to give out there?
Man, I just want to share, obviously, like you just did, my YouTube channel. I'm Anthony TV. Guys, go check that out. And also, you can reach me on Instagram at I'm_Anthony TV. You can shoot me a DM, and I'll definitely get back with you. I
All right.
appreciate you, man,
Yeah.
for having me on. I like what you're doing. I
Thank you.
like your main channel, Champion Trucker, and also your podcast, man. You're doing a great thing, and I think it's just the beginning. I think you're gonna blow up here, man. So
Oh,
keep pushing.
thank you. I definitely, hey, it's because I get to finally kind of create a platform where I get to interview folks like you that are kind of sharing your experiences already. But I want to be able to bring truck drivers into one space, have a great conversation, open up people's minds. I honestly, you literally open my mind. It's like every episode I'm learning new things, like Craigslist with Tiki, Bobby Reach business, and then food service. You just taught me about Gordon Food Service and how I wasted my time at Cisco and McLean. Holy, oh God. Oh, I'm literally gonna take a shower because I need to, but I'm also going to be crying a little bit. Not really, I'm kidding. Thank you guys so much. This has been Steer Mike, Steer Life Right. Make sure to go ahead and hit that rating button, subscribe, and hit that like button if you're on YouTube. We are out. Peace out, everybody.